The House of Representatives says it has received 2 amendment bills, and they're seeking to increase the number of judges and justices at the federal high courts and courts of appeal. The House is also set to begin debate on the general principles of the 58.5 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill presented by President Tinubu on the 19th of February 2026. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa has more.
3 correspondences from President Bola Tinubu opened the day's legislative business. 2 of the bills seek to increase the number of judges at the federal high courts and justices of the courts of appeal, and the third wants passage of 24 health sector bills.
The proposed increase of the federal high court justices from 70 to 90 will significantly improve the judge-to ratio, enhance the speed and quality of adjudication, and allow for greater judicial specialization in technically demanding areas such as terrorism.
3 motions of urgent national importance bordering on security of lives and property were also adopted. Usman Kumo's motion called attention to the death of 6 persons and the abduction of over 20 others by bandits in parts of his constituency in Gombe State.
As the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to, as a matter of urgency, direct the Chief of Defense Staff to initiate a coordinated joint security operations to flush out the bandits.
Ondo State Legislator Donald Ojogo also seeks the intervention of the National Boundary Commission in preventing looming communal clashes between Ilaje and parts of Ogun State.
Without any constitutional instrument designating Eba Island or the Eba oil field as part of Ogun State, media opinions and publications have twisted historical facts by insinuating that Eba Island belongs to Ogun State.
River State member Awaji Inombek Abiante applauded the judiciary for creating a special desk to address the problem of femicide raised by the House months ago. He also drew attention to critical bills yet to be passed by the Senate.
There is a bill before the Senate, and that bill intends to make the provision of closed-circuit televisions compulsory in all public places. Heads of intelligence units in the various services had made contributions towards this bill, but as we speak, the bill is still lying somewhere for reasons I do not know.
The House also resolved to begin debate on the general principles of the 2026 appropriation bill at the next legislative date. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's bring in lawyer Olayinka Oladaniels for more on this development. Mr. Daniels, thank you for joining us on the news this hour. Multiple bills before the House of Representatives seeking new judges for the federal high courts and justices at the Court of Appeal. What do you think? Does Nigeria's justice system really need more judges? Is that the solution to what is termed delayed justice?
Femi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. Well, to your question, it is a welcome development as far as we are concerned. This is what some of us, we've clamored for and we have asked for. And you will see the improvement in the justice system. I mean, for instance, Court of Appeal alone, you can have a matter that, in fact, you can appeal your matter and you don't even have a date for the next 5 years. Now, if we have enough judges, we will not have this. This is to improve the judicial system, to improve the justice system. Because if you are in Court of Appeal for 5 years, now imagine what happened in the Supreme Court, as in the time that you have to, for your matter to be heard. And the longer, the time persists, some people will say justice delay, justice denied. So in such cases, now even Federal High Court, you will find out that there's so much backlog of work at the Federal High Court, and people are picking dates. There are not enough judges to handle this matter. So this is a welcome development. We are happy that this is happening, and we pray that, as they are pushing up bills for more judges, the same we apply to structures. For instance, in Lagos State, we have the new complex now for Federal High Court in Bodilon. if you know what the Federal High Court in Queens Drive used to be, you will feel for the lawyer, you feel for the litigant, you feel for the people are packed like sardine. So with this now, it's not just having the judge, it's a good one, it's a good movement, it's going to improve the system, to be sincere. However, we need more structures also. Lagos, we have one in Lagos. I don't know if this, also spread out to all the 36 states and including FCT. I don't know if it really cut across everywhere that we have new structures for judges. Because if you just have more judges and you don't have the structure of places, the courtroom in which they will work, it will still be the same. In fact, in Lagos State, for your information, we have courts that judges share dates. You can have 2 judges to a court. In Lagos State, they do that. So now to this federal system, I believe that it will not just be limited to, having more judges, but also to have more structures, more courtroom, more enable environment for even judges to work.
What safeguards should Nigerians expect during this process to ensure fairness and merit-based appointment if this is passed?
Well, that is another angle to it. And we should also we should take cognizance of the fact of the way this thing happens, where you have, yes, the NJC recommends, but they recommend and they find out, but before then, you know that the governors, or you know that the federal, now we're talking about the federal high court judges, even the court of appeal, you know, some influences are there. And that is why sometimes, instead of them to do their job without fear and without favor, because somehow some people maneuver to make sure they get there. But if we can do on merit, because if you know that you get the job on merit, nobody pushed to do anything for you. You will do your job without fear and trembling, without fear or favor of anyone. And justice will be served as against, paddy movement that, okay, somebody knows you and it was the one that was able to enlist your name. So NJC, they do the same thing with them, and NJC, recommend, and the president approves. So all this, because it's not just saying we are appointing judges, there are procedures to be followed. And if you look at what happened recently, there are people that were denied of this appointment. The current appointment that happened, they were denied because they were found culpable. There were allegations against them, which they could not prove themselves innocent of such, and they were declined of such offices. This is what we want to see. This is what we need. We don't need. We need and again, the welfare of the judges is also paramount. Well, maybe some states are doing well. Lagos is doing fantastically well with the remuneration of judges. But at the federal level, can I say the same thing? No. Because if remuneration also is not good, if their welfare is not taken care of, we cannot still get fine judges. Because, see, people will go, they will lobby them, they will, and when you know your salary, they are telling you, this is a lifetime opportunity. What will you do? So to also curb corruption, even in that aspect, then I think federal government also need to sit up to make sure that they look into the remuneration, they look into their welfare and treat them well. So aside from going through adequate, on merit option of getting these people, because if we don't appoint people based on merit, we will have a hula baloo system, justice system, and I don't think that is what we want to see.
And you seem to have raised another critical angle to it, the big question of whether our administrative and budgetary system is equipped enough for this expansion. That's a question for some other day. Olayinka Ola-Daniels, legal practitioner, thank you so much for talking to us on the news tonight.
Thank you for having me.